We are at war. We are at war, Mitchell.
War.
Did you know that we were at war?
I definitely did not. I feel like I should.
Nobody knew that we were at war.
War with who?
Until now.
Yeah.
They're back.
Who?
They're fucking back, Mitchell.
Who is it?
The SJWs. They are back. We thought they were done. We thought they were gone. We thought we'd eradicated them all. Till this day.
Yes, Super Jar Jar Warriors.
That is the one.
I've legit forgotten what SJW is.
Oh wait, you actually have?
Legit, I've forgotten.
Social Justice Warriors.
Ah, that's the one. I knew it was one of those sort of peoples.
We are at war.
Yeah.
With them.
Okay, why?
Now,
why this time?
Well, I mean, before we jump into the news, why don't we tell each other what we've been doing this week, and then you'll find out why we are at war with the SJWs.
I have been getting the house ready to do the floors, and that's it. Playing League of Legends, getting tilted, not really understanding why I'm playing the game, but I'm still playing the game because friends playing the game. Well, it's,
I feel like that's everyone who plays League of Legends. Like, I don't know why.
I don't know why I'm playing the game, but I'm playing it. But anyway.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm here, but I'm already here, so I might as well continue.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel that.
Alright, now get into what you actually want to say.
So, we're just going to then, I guess, jump right into the news, yeah? Guess we will.
Yeah.
This is probably going to be a quicker episode, I think, this week.
That's fine, dude. That's fine.
That's fine by me as well, but have you heard of a developer called Top Hat Studios? Probably not. They're a small developer.
Yeah.
Now, they released a game August 25th last year. And that game was called Sense, a cyberpunk story. Or cyberpunk ghost story. Now, that game came out on PC. It was given pretty good reviews. People enjoyed it. Yeah.
July last year, you said?
August
July last year. Okay.
Now, it was recently announced that it's coming to Nintendo Switch and console. That's awesome. Good on them. Congratulations.
If it's a well-reviewed game, I guess.
This is great news. Now, Sense is a 2D side-scrolling horror game.
Right. Yep.
Set in like a cyberpunk world where you're dealing with paranormal shit, and like apparently the whole concept is like you're not sure if it's things fucking with the cybernetics in your head, or if they're actual paranormal activities.
So it's like a total
really
recall
interesting. It's
sort
like
of
a psychological. Well, no, it's a psychological horror, but it's is this paranormal, or is this to do with the modern, the futuristic technology that I now have? In my body?
Yeah.
Interesting concept, right? That actually sounds really cool.
Yeah, not totally original, but it's still interesting enough that it.
I mean, I think it's pretty out there, in my opinion. I like the concept.
Well, obviously, people have liked it.
Yeah. Anyway, so they released this statement out of nowhere, like no one was even expecting it, and it essentially said, with the recent news of Sense, a cyberpunk ghost story coming to Nintendo Switch, we are aware of a large amount of messages and demands aimed towards the game's console platform release based on lies. Furthermore, voices have attempted to advocate making sale of the game untenable through demanding harsh censorship aimed towards the developer's art style, with threats to review bomb the game and/or harass its distributors. In addition, we have received death threats from those who feel threatened by what essentially boils down to, and I'm going to cut out here. What do you think it boils down to, Mitchell?
As in, what people think the problem with the game is.
Why are people censoring it? Would it be, maybe some hate speech?
I don't know. Is there just because there isn't a diverse cast? Maybe, I don't know.
Or maybe it could be a scene with sexual assault. Like that could be a bit of a hot button topic. Maybe it applauds or incites a hate crime.
Were the burgers graphics not that good?
Here's what it is. The women are a little too voluptuous. The main character is a female. She's got big boobies. She looks a bit sexually promiscuous. So they are angry that it is a big titty anime girl. And so what we've been getting is they've been getting death threats. And here's the thing, right? nobody saw any hate about this game happening. No one saw it, so everyone was like, what the fuck, you're bullshitting. Everyone didn't believe it. So they had to actually, underneath this post, go, okay, here's some screenshots of what we've been getting. And I'm just going to read a few out. Now, I want to now preface this with, this is not me saying these things. I do not agree with anything that has to be said, that is said here. What is going to be read out loud right now is disgusting. It's just it's blatantly disgusting, and I want to warn people, this is messages sent by other people.
If you don't want the negativity in your life, skip forward, alright?
Yep, here we go. Women's voices are being denied in the industry. Men, pretending to be women, are invading safe spaces for female developers. And now you got to bring out a game like Sense to make things even harder for women like us. Can you not do this? How many fucking real actual women do you have on your team? Any? Even some? Even one? Trannies don't fucking count. You have no idea how much I want you to hurt right now. I'm not done. Only a tranny could make something that's so blatantly grotesque. I guarantee you've made an enemy out of every woman in the media with this game.
Oh my
This
God.
is some... Now this one, I'm going to preface, racial slur is about to be said. Warning. This is some real chink shit. And it shows with how much it denigrates women.
That is the biggest fucking hypocrisy ever. Mm-hmm. Like, you were literally talking about how they're oppressing people, or oppressing women and whatnot.
And you start throwing out hate speech.
Yeah, you're literally throwing out hate speech to different races.
Transgendered people. Like, where did that even come from?
Nowhere.
This poor demographic of people who are having a hard enough time as it is, yeah? They're having a hard enough time. Get thrown into the mix. Why not? Fuck them.
They have nothing to do with this.
This is why. And, like, look, I'm not,
That's disgusting. Sort it out.
I don't understand TERFs. I don't understand them. If you don't know what a TERF is, it's a trans-exclusionary radical feminist. These are all TERFs, very clearly. Now, I do not get... Like...
You can...
complaining about sexuality in video games is one thing.
Yeah.
But even then, I tend to be on the line of, who gives a fuck? If they want to be sexual, let them be sexual. That
people don't want to buy the game and don't want to support it, don't buy the game. Don't buy the game.
And my opinion is just, who cares about a bit of sexuality? I don't complain when I see Shao Kahn looking like a beefy big sex boy in Mortal Kombat 11. So
it is more done to females than males, but...
Absolutely. No, we both had this conversation.
There's got to be a line.
I agree that there is, like, a lot of the time in most entertainment, females are sexualized.
Let's skip that for now because, the main thing with this is that's just garbage coming out of that person's mouth.
Hatred. Now, these are all different messages. I should preface. This is all different messages from different people. I'm just reading different cutoffs. Like...
That's crap.
So, and it gets to a point, there's a few messages where essentially they start going, because you're sexualizing women, we're being raped.
What?
The mind games you have to play to fucking figure that shit out, just, it's on a whole different plane of existence.
I can't get that.
I'm gonna buy this game. I'm going to buy it on the Switch and PC just to say fuck you to these people. Because even if I never play this game...
I can't even get my thoughts straight.
No, the reason why I want to buy this game, and it's not even whether or not this game is actually good. On principle, I'm buying it because they posted this and they also said, we're not censoring our game. Fuck off. And you know what?
Good.
How many companies nowadays do you get that...
stand up to the backlash.
Like, I understand if it was something like they did something really hateful and they didn't realize it, and so they're going, okay, we're really sorry, we will take that out. Yeah. I get that shit. That's fair. But
to take this from someone, you do not have the right to stand up for equality and free of speech or the rights of certain demographics or races, and then turn around and spread hate speech on other demographics and races. That is total hypocrisy, and it's disgusting. Yeah,
I'm gonna quickly finish off their statement. Now I'm skipping through a little bit because
we don't need to hear it.
A lot of it is just saying like "fuck you" for being this. Anyway, once again, we reject any and all of the aforementioned brazen characterizations of the game, and would like to reiterate our principles against tempering with creators' expressions. We would also like to reiterate this game is rated ESRB M 17 plus PEGI 18, so R18 for us. This is not an AO game, nor have any laws been broken, as some social media commenters have ridiculously claimed out of their biases. The game's rating reflects the target audience, and yet this fact is lost on those who have been led by a will to blindly crusade against their false perceptions. We will not censor this game because of self-centered crowds who care solely about grandstanding.
Yeah. You know what? Yeah, that's well said. Well said. It's true. A lot of this is people being like, I have the moral high ground on you, let me rub it in your face.
It's 100% true. Now, guys, I'm going to let you know now, little plug for them. Sense is out now. It is out as of the 7th of January, so it is out, it has been released.
Yep.
So, congratulations, guys. I hope your game does gangbusters. You'll probably never see this video, but I truly hope that your game does gangbusters. I hope it's a good game. I'm going to actually try it out now. Thanks to this uproar and bullshit, I want to try it out.
That's garbage. I can't believe. People never cease to amaze me, really. They just, they find another way to really disappoint me. When you think the companies are bad, and then you get this.
I hate death threats. I will never understand people who they lose this weird humanity when they look in at a company. And like, don't get me wrong, I understand having a hatred for a company, you know, like I do with Ubisoft, for example. But I can still look in and see the footmen, see these foot soldiers that are dealing with the problems, which is why I'm talking about it. I would never send death threats to these said foot soldiers because their higher ups are doing shitty things or anything. But these guys have done nothing. They have made a piece of art. They have put it up for sale, and you have chosen to just threaten them due to the fact that they drew some big boobs. Fuck off. Fuck off. Kindly fuck off. It's been a long time since I've seen an outrage like this in video games.
It's so strange, on such a small scale game as well, really.
Really, exactly. And I feel
like what you were saying with the art piece and then shitting on it. Literally that. It's like someone drawing a painting and then it's not using the color orange, which you really wanted, so you're sending them death threats, sort of thing. You know, it makes no sense.
It's just stupid, and the thing is, for a long time, SJWs they disappeared. They disappeared for a long time, and I feel like
they never truly leave.
Well, no, but I feel like it kind of turned into the far right became the new SJWs in a lot of ways. And they started being the more sensitive ones and being the stupid ones.
There's a lot of sensitive people out there.
But this just makes me go, oh, you fuckwits.
You know that woman was at the bloody Capitol building the other day, right? She was front and center. She was banging on that door for
wouldn't have
female
been,
rights.
Actually, because she would not have been helping. If anything, they would not want to help Trump. They don't like Trump, those people. But I would not put it past them if they were fighting for something else and be doing the same thing.
Whatever. They're all idiots to me.
Yeah, I agree. It's just a joke. It actually really angers me because it again.
As if the world isn't shit enough. Why do you have to shit on...
Like, have we not learned death threats and doing this shit?
They don't work.
It doesn't make people understand your point of view. It makes them not listen.
It makes them
not listen and just want to block you out and fight you more.
It speaks more about you than it does the company. There are ways you need to handle a situation.
And
that way you're going to get totally ignored. Well, not ignored. You're going to get hated on. And you're going to get...
It's going to ruin your cause.
Sometimes you can even get investigated for death threats. Like, legit investigated.
My problem is it doesn't help your cause. It ruins it. Yep. Because you might be fighting for the most amazing thing.
How immature and how little you think about what you say. So why should people listen to you when you don't even think about what you're saying?
Exactly.
No. And this one was going back on what they were saying. They're saying, we need rights for women and you need to stop doing this for women because this is bad for us. Also, fuck all these other races and demographics.
Yeah, fuck age. You're Asian. Fuck you, you're an Asian. Fuck, you're probably a tranny too. Like, how dare you use the word tranny as well, man? Like,
that was disgusting.
Are we back in 2007? Like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
it's just a joke, man. It's just a joke. I don't have many news topics today.
That's okay. January's, it's a slow month.
It's a slow time. End of January will be good because Medium comes out, and I'll be playing that. I can't wait to be playing that. It's all right. So I'll move on to the next little bit. Okay. I want to move on to the next news story.
Yeah.
We were talking about Cyberpunk last week and CDPR.
Yeah.
They're back again already. Oh, hello, Luffy. Oh my god.
He's grown. He's grown a lot more.
You have grown.
Yeah, big boy. Look at the camera. That's not the camera. That's over there. Hello, everybody. I have a big nose. Yes, I know.
Wow. Amazing.
That's picking on you.
Okay, so they're back in the news already. Yep. CDPR. Because they're under investigation by a section of the Polish government.
Sorry, which company was this?
CD Projekt Red.
It just gets worse. Come on.
So, the Polish Office of Competition and Consumer Protection is looking into allegations that the game might be breaking industry standards.
How so?
Well, they sold a product that didn't work.
Yeah. Okay. That's
It's the consumer protections section of the government, so you know.
Yeah.
And so essentially a spokesperson, I'm not going to try and say their name because fuck that, it's Polish, stated this past weekend that if the investigation shows CDPR at fault and they fail to deliver proper fixes, they're mainly focusing on like the last gen versions of the game because they are literally unplayable. They'll be essentially, they'll be fined 10% of their income. I know 10% doesn't sound like much.
It's a lot. No, that's a lot.
They earned $1 billion from this game.
Then 10% of
they earned $1 billion. That's $1 million.
Is 100 million, isn't it?
No, is it? Oh, yeah, probably. Yeah, it is.
Well, what's $1 billion divided by 10?
That's 100 million. Fuck me.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
I'm a retard.
Also, now if you hear weird growls or squeaky toys going, the pups are with me.
That's all good.
I apologize.
You're stuck now.
I'm stuck with them.
Okay.
Luffy, dude, there's a whole other side to the toy. The squeaky part does not need to be the main.
Luffy, you're ruining the show. If anything, he's probably making it better. Let's be honest.
You know what? It might get viewers. Title: Squeaky Dog Toy.
Squeaky Dog Toy. Okay. So those are the only two news conversations that I had today. They were just two small ones. But I wanted to have a conversation with you on a situation that happened in December. It was tied with Cyberpunk. I didn't bring it up at the time because I wanted to wait a little bit for kind of dust to settle and shit.
Yeah.
And it's all about a journalist for GameSpot, Kaylee Plague, I think is her name. I don't know how to say it. I don't know. It's Plagge is her last name. But anyway.
Plague.
Yeah, Plague, like, I don't know. Anyway, she reviewed Cyberpunk 2077. And a few days after her review, a YouTuber known as The Quartering made a video called, and like, look, this is going to be like the most fucking, this title is just absolute clickbait. But terrible Cyberpunk 2077 review busted. She didn't even play the game. GameStop is a complete joke. Now, the reason why that title is there is for the clicks. But the content of the video was essentially using one of her, I think they do like, GameSpot did like a little podcast thing, I don't know. Yeah. And in this video, she admitted to not playing parts of the game.
What's parts? I mean, it's a big game.
Yes, no, it's a big game. So she admitted to avoiding most side content.
That's a big aspect,
yeah,
though.
No, I'm not done.
Okay, I'll let you.
She also admitted to not touching the crafting system and not bothering with weapons, not bothering with the like customization of the character, and just.
So she's not really playing the game.
She's played the main story, and she said, "I dabbled in a little bit of the side." But
yeah, you tell him, Muffin.
So
right. It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, and so, so anyway, after that happened, all these journalists came out and went, fuck you, The Quartering, you're a dog, you're a misogynistic prick because she's a woman. Now, don't get me wrong, The Quartering, he is a bit of a prick. I don't like The Quartering.
Right.
I think he's a bit of a see you next Tuesday. He's a cunt. But, not to do with this video. This video
not yet.
No, not at all. His video was fine. He was the guy who made the video that called her out for it.
Okay.
So I'm talking about the guy who called out the reviewer. And everyone called him a misogynistic prick. He's doing it because she's a woman. He's trying to bring a woman down in journalism.
When they do it without evidence and without facts, sure. But now you're the ones that are accusing someone of misogyny without facts and evidence. So now you're the assholes.
He does have a bit of a track record, but
oh well, in that case,
he has
then
a bit of
you can slide him for those things, all right? But
yeah,
you
not
gotta
this
look
one.
up. You gotta look up what you're accusing people for.
Yeah, look, I don't agree with calling him out on this video. Oh, okay.
I couldn't do
let
it.
The dog out.
I had to let the dogs out.
Okay, check the time on the video to remember to edit.
Cool, go.
Okay, so, look, I don't disagree that The Quartering is a bit of a... He teeters on the fucking edge of being an absolute cunt. I don't think he's a good person. I think he's a bit misogynistic. I think he's a bit of a twat. He's very... Look, he caters to the incels. Let's just say that.
There's always a demographic, you know?
Look, that's what he's there for.
Yeah.
I don't like him personally. I don't like his content. But this content, what he reported was true. Even if the the title was there, and it's not exactly spot on with what he was saying in the title, he was still, what he said in the content of the video was factual. Correct. He used evidence.
I mean, if we're going to slam everyone for doing clickbait titles, there's going to be a lot of people we're slamming.
Yeah, yeah. Now, the conversation I actually want to have is the standard that journalists should be held to in the video game industry.
Not just the video game industry, but fucking just the whole media needs.
No, but like I want to talk about video game journalism.
Yeah,
and
of course.
The review system and the standard they should be held to, because.
Well, she's basically not played the game. You know,
she's played the main story of the game, and I'm going to be there and defend her with the crafting system. The crafting system sucks, but
sure, but at least did she use that? She
admitted to using it once. She said, I used it once and didn't do it. But I would have... The thing is, in her review from recollection, I did read it this morning. It's been a while. I skimmed through it. But from recollection, she didn't mention, the crafting just fucking sucked, so I couldn't continue. You know, like, you at least mention that. You go, look, I tried to do it. It was so bad and unintuitive that I didn't give a fuck. But the thing is, it's not that it's unintuitive. it's boring. It takes too long to level up in Cyberpunk. It's just a slog to go through. But it is necessary if you want to use really good guns and keeping them up to date.
You know, when it depends on the game you're playing. This one, right? You need to have an in-detailed understanding of the game and all its aspects to give a detailed review.
I do agree.
If it's just a 2D side-scroller horror, sense, you just play the game, and that's it. Did you enjoy the experience? Was everything in it working? Was it nice aesthetically? Blah, blah, blah. Explain your experience. That's it. Cyberpunk is a little more in-depth.
I think it also depends with the game as well. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
For example, even with Cyberpunk, for example, if there are parts that are an absolute slog, you mention that at least in the review. Go, hey, exactly. Look, I did this for a little bit. Fuck me, it sucked.
It's called honest journalism.
Yeah, it's just there were things like because in her review she mentions side missions were part of some of the best parts of the game.
But she didn't play.
But she barely touched it. She admitted to. So now, it's just that shit. Now I wanted to talk about not just for her though, just in general. The standard that journalists should be held, what they should be held with when it comes to reviewing, because there's been so many instances of recent where people have just straight up been called out on not playing the game just due to their shitty reviews.
I remember you talking to me a while ago about this YouTuber who got caught years ago, who was literally just copying content from a smaller YouTuber.
That was a guy that,
and he was a reviewer.
mentioned it later on in the past in the podcast where he tried to come back. That was Philip Mewson.
He was
an IGN reviewer for Nintendo for their Nintendo section of IGN.
And he was just copying everything. So you don't know who to trust, because I don't think anything's really changed in the industry when it comes to journalism and reviews. And I mean, you can't even trust review systems because now you got salty people that come in and just review bomb. So how do you control that? You can't. You either have to change the whole system of how things get done.
Honestly,
review the journalist even, or you can't trust anything.
To me, I think journalism is practically especially the review. Well, I think journalism in the terms of this journalist is dying. This type of journalism is dying. I think the new review systems are YouTube. YouTube is the new way to not just review, but to see a game.
Yeah.
You want to know if it's going to be good?
Yeah, full gameplay. Video. Yeah. That's what I used to do.
I always watched the third episode of a playthrough. So that way I'm not at the beginning, so I don't get the beginning spoiled, and I'm just a little ahead I see more of it.
I think that's what people need to do.
Best way to do it. Yeah,
they need to find a source of information that reviews the things that you're looking for, that you trust, whether that be a YouTuber, like a podcast like us, or it could be a journalist or a blogger, someone that does it, right? And you trust their opinion and know they don't give that bullshit and won't, give you the, the magic finger as the journalists do.
I'm just going to throw out a few reviewers that I tend to listen to a lot. Angry Joe Show, he's great. Only problem with his reviews are because he puts a lot of budget into it. There's a lot of money thrown into his reviews.
Yeah.
He does skits and stuff. They tend to be a little later. So a lot of the time people more watch his reviews after the fact for the entertainment value. But another good one to look at is I really like, and a lot of people are iffy on him, but Jim Sterling. Jim Sterling he doesn't review as much anymore. Now he talks a lot more about the problems within the industry. But he's still really good with a lot of his opinions. The podcast Podquisition, they talk about games they're currently playing. That's a really good podcast to look into if you're wondering about that. Easy Allies is the one that I always watch for reviews, for opinions, because they are a group of just fucking nerds. Absolute nerds. And in the best way possible. If anyone is unsure about a game, I would recommend looking at Easy Allies. They are my go-to source for information sometimes. Like, I listen to their podcast weekly. That they're always on the go. Like, it was thanks to them that I had the ideas of doing fun little games in the podcast. You know, they're a real, and they do really good reviews. They are probably the last little legs of old video game journalism. But instead of staying in the old parts of journalism where they just write it out, they went, let's write it like it was a website review, but let's put it into a video and audio format. And it's really well done, really well voiced. It's a really good system. And I think they tend to stand really well. And like you can tell because like there's multiple people in the studio, so they're constantly reviewing different games. But what they do is they give the right person the right game.
Yeah.
You know, that's how they do it.
That's what we're saying now, because the system's not going to change. So don't worry about that. Just worry about the means you go to find your information.
Look at Easy Allies. I truly think they're a really reliable source.
There's plenty out there.
Yeah, and they're also just really, I'm going to use their word, jolly people. They're really jolly people.
Unlike us, we're just salty,
we're so
horrible,
cynical and
shitty people. God, we suck.
What time are we at?
We're at about a 30-minute video at the moment, my dude.
Gosh, dude, we are running quickly.
Yeah.
We're near the end of the podcast.
Hey, if it's a 40-minute episode, that's it.
That's what we do.
We don't need an hour every time.
I made a little game again today.
Go for it.
Made a little game. I was hoping to be able to do 2 games, because if Tolga was here, I was going to get him to guess the light novels, but his computer shat itself, so this is our game today. It's called Scrap or Tap.
Scrap or tap. Lock it in.
So I'm going to throw a few video game ideas, whether it be 2 game styles merging, or whether it be a developer.
It's like Game Dev Tycoon. Here we go. I'm an expert.
Or like a game, a specific game developer making a game from a specific franchise.
Hear me.
And you have to choose whether or not to scrap it. It's not a good idea, or to tap the fuck out of that shit.
Yeah, let's fund that shit. Let's do it.
Okay. Call of Duty game mode. This is a Call of Duty game mode I thought would be interesting. And it's mixed in the same vein as Friday the 13th or Dead by Daylight. So a 4v1 where one player plays the Juggernaut and you have 4 players in a Warzone vein, starting off with pistols and trying to find weaponry to try and stop the Juggernaut. 4 or 3, I didn't... For me, I couldn't decide on whether or not it'd be 3 or 4 players. The combat would be in the vein of Modern Warfare, so that way you've got the aiming around corners, so you've got a bit more tactical advantage as the 3 players. And I'd probably limit the grenades and explosives and stuff within the game. Medium-sized maps, not too big, but enough to where you can grab decent amount of loot and ammunition.
I say scrap as that base call because the Juggernaut doesn't move very fast, right? But everyone else would. I don't like the idea that they would have weapons. What I would suggest is smoke or flash grenades to escape, but they'd have a certain amount, which is what most styles of that game have. Because in those style of games, the killer's the killer. Like, you can't really kill them. In front of the 13th you could, but it was through a lot of different steps and situations that were very specific. So I think it would really need, that idea would really need to be fine-tuned. It would need to be tested a lot to do with how much speed the Juggernaut had, how much armor it would have.
We're not going to go into in-depth mechanics.
But as that,
I just mean as a concept.
From what you just said to me then, how you wanted it, I would say scrap it. I think maybe if it was fiddled and tested a lot, it might have a bit of potential.
I should actually preface this. This is not what I want. I just threw in different random fucking ideas. Some of them I do want.
I'd say scrap it. I don't think Call of Duty needs it.
Done. Okay. A Star Wars game set in the Old Republic, made by Sucker Punch Studios.
Remind me of what they've made again.
I was going to say, and it's a game in the vein of their most recent video game, Ghost of Tsushima, where you've got these like really quick to kill, quick to be killed because you are a Jedi fighting other fighting other Sith. Sorry.
You know what would be cool with that idea?
I'm not done.
Okay.
Or setting it in with an open world RPG with character class choices such as, at the beginning you could choose to be either a smuggler, bounty hunter, Mandalorian, fallen Jedi, and some other options, have some dialogue choices, and set it in multiple planets. Kind of similar to like a Dragon Age Inquisition game where it's not the entire planet you're on, they're like smaller, bit open world areas.
Yeah.
That you're traveling to, etc.
Yeah, I could tap that. I think there's always a lot of funding, and there's a lot of money to be made in the Star Wars franchise.
Yeah.
That first one.
I do have another Star Wars
that like
game.
Ghost of Tsushima one, right?
Yeah.
What I would like is have it in the perspective of a Sith in the Old Republic. Because
I would love
back
that.
then,
I would
because if you're talking about
that.
like a survival game, there's shit tons of Jedi, but there's only one. Or back in those days, actually, there is a lot of Sith.
I was going to say the Old Republic was before they had. I'm pretty sure it's before Bane introduced the whole two Sith
rule
only
of two.
rule.
Yeah.
I could be wrong with that, but even so, I actually.
Or even if you're a Jedi or a
Sith
that somehow got stranded on a planet that's ruled by the one or the other, or not ruled, but like dominant by one or the other.
Dominated. I'd love to see a game where you follow the Sith, but I'd like to see a game where it's. I'd like them to touch on the Sith with a bit more of a grey area, which they did with, Anakin in the prequel.
What if there was a game where you were made an Inquisitor by Vader
an Inquisitor, fucking hot.
So you would make a character, you would become an Inquisitor at the start of the game by Vader or Palpatine, or whoever it is, and you were basically hunting for Jedi, and the game makes clues and gives you tracks and different people. I don't know. I think that could be a really cool idea. That's just a basic idea.
Witcher-esque game, but instead of monsters you're hunting, it's Jedi. That'd be dope.
Yeah, I guess.
Now, this one I really want to tap, but it's your decision.
It always is.
And it's another Star Wars game. A Star Wars bounty hunter game made by Rockstar Studios. Actually, sorry, Star Wars smuggler/bounty hunter game made by Rockstar Studios. I would tap the fuck out of that.
I think it could work. It depends on the
fuck out of that.
With that sort of game, it would have to be. It's hard. It all depends on the replayability of the content and how much content there actually is.
Well, I mean, we're talking about the guys who made GTA and stuff. I think. I'd rely.
But the thing is, they tried to do the same thing with Red Dead 2, and it didn't go as well.
You're talking about Red Dead Online. I'm talking about a single-player game. I'm talking about a strictly single-player game. Red Dead Redemption 2, fuck me, single-player. GTA 5 single-player is still wet. I want that.
I think it would depend on the replayability of it.
The storytelling is phenomenal in Red Dead and all that. And the way they could tackle it, I think, would be phenomenal. I'd tap the shit out of that, but you're the one who chooses.
I think it's a 50-50. It's all down to execution, so I'll say tap.
The only reason I don't think it's as much of a 50-50 is Rockstar has a good track record with their single-player games.
I don't trust any company.
Good
I don't trust anyone
record.
Anymore. Sorry.
I understand not trusting anyone, but I mean, in terms of their single-player games, they are yet to fail, and they've been around for a long, long time.
It only takes one, as we've just found out.
Anyway, an Attack on Titan game.
Tap.
Made by Insomniac Games. So the same guys who just did the most recent Spider-Man games.
Oh, yeah, that's a really good one. So
I thought that would be a really good pairing. Yeah,
the mechanics of that into an Attack on Titan game.
I thought that'd be a great pairing.
Yeah, and you could have a tier system about your expeditions to get Titans and whatnot. There could be a story mode that's separate. I think that would be really good.
Really cool.
I just don't think that anime culture's... it's almost... I think it's almost there, actually, but I don't think it's in the mainstream.
No, I don't think
major companies like that to happen.
I don't think it'll ever be at that level, because...
I think it's getting there.
No, because the way...
There's money in it.
Anime studios make their video games, they do it on the cheap. They just do. I mean, look at every Naruto, every One Piece game.
It's true.
It's on the cheap.
But I think that would be really, really good.
I would love for an anime-esque game to be... had the money put into it.
I mean, the most money that anime games get is the fighting games. That's basically it.
Well, I mean, most anime games are fighting games.
Yeah, exactly what I'm saying. Like,
but like the only one where I was like, dude, the money was really thrown in here was Dragon Ball FighterZ, in my opinion. I think a lot of the other ones are made a lot more.
Well, that's like the biggest franchise in the world, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
So
that's like talking about, you know, the Pokemon of anime.
Yeah, pretty much.
In video game terms.
And
now,
no, Pokemon's not an anime. Find me about it.
Well, it is an anime, but
it's a cartoon.
It's an anime. It's Japanese.
Ah, it's a cartoon.
It's no. That's wrong. That's factually wrong.
It's a cartoon. It's cool.
Oh,
I'm glad we're able to agree on this.
I'm not gonna get into this because you're so fucking wrong. Anyway,
it's a cartoon.
No, an infamous game that utilizes the Nemesis system from Shadow of Mordor.
No, I didn't have too much to do with Infamous, but the
Infamous
the
is
Nemesis.
one of my.
I know
games.
the Infamous games. That's where you can be either good or evil.
The Infamous is one of my I fuck with games. Now, I'm not so much caring about this whole good or bad thing. What I'm thinking is, because they're in the most recent Infamous, which was Second Son. Fuck me, that was at the beginning of the generation or so.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Anyway.
It's been a while.
Well, their last game was Ghost of Tsushima, so it's alright.
Yeah.
Anyway, the concept for me was
Nemesis.
The character from Second Son was he could absorb other enemies' abilities and stuff.
Right.
And I almost liked the concept of him absorbing an ability similar to what we could get with the Nemesis system, where you can kind of take over players or characters. And I'd love this whole system of you're taking over, like, there's all these randomized characters, and you're taking them over and slowly kind of building this army to fight, because the whole concept was you were fighting the government who was against anyone with a power at this point.
Yeah.
And so I just like this concept of like dealing with that. I think that'd be really cool. And using the Nemesis system within it. I would like better combat from Infamous. So
I think you'd need an upgraded Nemesis system for that sort of world.
Oh, well, I feel like it's almost a mixture of both. It's like you need an upgrade of Shadow of Mordor's, but a bit of a downgrade from Shadow of War's, because Shadow of War they made it too convoluted.
I actually know nothing about Shadow of War.
Shadow of War was a little too convoluted. Because there was too much randomization in it. So I'd like maybe a bit less randomization, and just make it feel a little more personal, but also update what was Shadow of Mordor.
Yeah, I could tap that. Yeah, that's fine.
Now, this one was for Tolga, to be honest. This
I'm here.
So, what can we say? A Pokemon game with an open world.
Yes.
In the vein of Breath of the Wild.
Oh yeah, no, that's 100% tap.
Tap the fucking shit out of that. Even my sweaty armpits.
I think people have been crying out for an open world Pokemon game for.
Well, I mean, they delivered it last time fucking poorly.
Where?
Because there's the open sections. It's horrible.
What on? Which ones?
In Shield, Sword and Shield.
Nah, piss off. No.
There are open sections, but it's bad.
No,
but I want
we want a proper open world.
Yeah, I want an actual Breath of the Wild-esque. You can go wherever the fuck you want. You can have like an MMO,
right? You can have like an MMO.
Fly my Charizard.
Where gyms are just dungeons, you know, in that kind of sense, you know. Yeah, no.
That's why I brought.
There's a lot of money in that.
Because, like, you know, with Breath of the Wild, you can go to each fucking animal thing. I forget what they were, but the big dungeons.
Yeah.
Go to each of them, and like that could be
The regions.
And like you can do whichever one you want first. I think it'd be really cool. I'd like them to have a bit more like realistic animalization of the actual Pokemon instead of them just fucking like hobbling about in the open world. I'd like them to actually act like, they were an actual animal.
Yeah, that would take a lot of work. That's probably why they haven't done it.
It would. No, it absolutely would.
But you never know. Technology's getting there, but it all depends on the company. So, yeah.
I mean, that was
a great idea. Yeah, sweet.
That was it.
Well, let's wrap it up, dude. There's no point dragging this along.
Let's wrap it up. I do want to say I cannot wait for the animes to come out. We're going to start watching...
Promised Neverland came out already.
I haven't watched it yet, but I'm past this in the manga, so I know what's happening.
Fair enough.
I know what's already going down, but...
No one cares about your opinion anymore.
We'll get into... Once 2 or 3 episodes come out, we'll probably make a video on it.
That's fine. Cool.
And, yeah, that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. There's a smaller episode this week. I didn't want to do too much, because, we're just getting back into it again.
Yeah.
Take it chill.
I think shorter videos aren't that bad anyway, so...
No.
If they are, let us know.
I enjoy them. I enjoy them. No, I enjoy the small videos.
I enjoy the smaller videos, yeah. But yeah, let us know what you think in the comments. Please like and subscribe.
Exactly, and in 3, 2, 1, you've been...
Nerdspice.
Oh.
See, we started out really well, then you kind of delayed, but it's alright. We'll work on it.
Well, see, on my side, it was really good.
Well,
so, shame, isn't it?
Whatever. See you later, guys.
See ya.